Hey guys, this is Cam315. I am back at it with another video for you guys. And I'm back at it with another anime review. And obviously you clicked on and you are getting it. And I am reviewing the Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2. Now, obviously this is the first time I'm talking about the Quintessential Quintuplets. Yes, I watched Season 1 of this show. I will more than likely do a season 1 review about the Quintessential Quintuplets. I don't know when. I have to schedule my time to do that. And then that also includes rewatching the entire, Quintessential Quintuplets season 1. But I enjoyed Quintessential Quintuplets, the first season. I liked it, and essentially, I like the fact that this guy Futaro wants to help these very dumb, idiotic girls who can't get good grades in their homework on their tests and stuff like that. And at the same time, finding out which one is he gonna eventually hook up with, apparently. And I'm guessing the new thing behind this season is which sister is the one that he met a long time ago. I'm guessing, or somebody he met a long time ago. But today was the very first episode of season 2, and I'm gonna be reviewing it this year, this season, for Winter Anime 2021. So yeah, let's get into it because man, I got some good things to talk about. Yesterday was ReZero. Today is gonna be Quintessential Quintuplets. Tomorrow is Dragon Quest. And then Saturday is One Piece. Man, my anime reviews coming out for a freaking weekend are gonna be crazy. Anyways, let's get into it. This is your Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2, Episode 1 review. Anyways, the episode starts off with Futaro having a dream about when he was younger, with a long pink-haired girl he was taking pictures of and stuff like that. Now, you later find out that he is in the hospital because he gives a quick rundown. Again, for some reason, if you are watching this Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2, Episode 1, and you have no clue what the hell is going on in what he's describing, first things first, let me just ask you, why are you watching Season 2 instead of watching Season 1 first? Go watch Season 1 first to understand the characters better and understand why he's in the hospital. But I guess for people who don't really care, he essentially, if you remember from the last few episodes in the season when they went on their little school winter camp or whatever, up to the mountains, he got sick, and obviously we had that nice little scene with the sisters essentially comforting him in a way of being there for him because he was there for them in each of their needs and stuff like that. Again, I'll talk more about that in my season 1 review and my thoughts on all the sisters and stuff like that, because I really do like this show. I do like the fact that each sister has their own character and their own character arc, because they're all different, even though you can say they look similar in a way, but yeah. So, yeah, he's in the hospital from the flu he got, so it was that bad. But Nino eventually comes to visit him, and essentially we find out that their father is essentially paying for Futaro's hospital expenses, which is actually really nice of the father to do something like that. Futaro's got to still hold his end on the bargain on getting, the person he's working under to get his daughters to be essentially good students and get into a good college and stuff like that. Now, the reason why Nino's there is she's kind of hiding from the other sisters, which are Yotsuba, Miku, and Ichika. And it's funny because, Futaro and Nino's little relationship is kind of back and forth banter, to be honest. I kind of ship them the most. And honestly, Nino's my favorite sister out of the quadruplets, or the quintuplets. My bad. That's quadruplets just means four, but the quintuplets. She's my favorite. So I did find it funny how she's being sweet. She eventually overhears that the other sisters are coming, so she tries to hide in this frickin', cover sheets or whatever. Anyways, Yotsuba, Miku, and Ichika show up as well. Ichika eventually, Yotsuba smells frickin', Nino around. One, I do like Yotsuba. Yotsuba, honestly, I don't know where she ranks. Like, in terms of second favorite sister, I don't know where I would put her. Or I don't know who would be my second favorite sister. But I do like Yotsuba, and she was hilarious because she was sniffing. She's like, I smell Nino around, and stuff like that. She later finds Nino, but what we do also get is a nice scene between Ichika and Futaro because she gives him homework, and essentially Futaro's like, oh, so you have been going to school. And then, again, spoilers for people who haven't seen season 1 yet. Again, go watch it, but these are spoilers. One of my favorite things and one of my favorite character arcs for the sisters was when they focused on Ichika and how she wants to be like an actor and stuff like that. But the thing is, she's not sure about school and she's thinking about giving up school. Well, in the scene, it kind of furthers down the point that, she's going to stay in school and stick through school to the very end and stuff like that. Now, she says the reason why she's doing it is because of Futaro, because we know now she has a thing for Futaro and she likes him, like how Miku likes him and stuff like that. Again, I still feel like at the end of the day, I feel like eventually it's going to be the point where all the sisters start to go love him in some sort of way. So it's going to be weird when they get to that point. So, yeah. Anyways, you get a funny little freaking scene between the sisters, and they eventually all dip, and I'm guessing they're going to school. So, the next day, Futaro is actually cleared from the hospital, but then but as he's leaving, he runs into the sisters again, and essentially the sisters are there to get their vaccine shots. So, it's good to see that the anime is promoting the fact that, yes, you need to go get your vaccines or your vaccinations when they're available. And I'm obviously talking about the virus. They didn't hint at, well, the virus is taking place in that show, but they're not wearing masks, but wear your mask, people. So I'm guessing they're getting the vaccinations. Good on them. But I'm guessing, I guess they're flu shots or whatever. They do make a mention, they say they get their freaking shots this time of year. But the only reason why is Nino doesn't like getting the shots as well as Itsuki doesn't like getting their shots because they don't like needles, essentially. They're like Goku, who doesn't like needles, and stuff like that. So as he screams, and then they pull him away back to his room. Now the doctor, as he's going past, or as Futaro's going past, the doctor says, I expect great things from you, Futaro. And essentially this is when he's like, I've seen that man before. And he recalls back to the young little pink-haired girl that was in his backstory. I'm guessing was that person's father. So I'll get into it in a few minutes. So yeah. Itsuki actually shows up, and she eventually asks him, like, why do you study? What's the reason? What's the purpose behind you studying so hard? And essentially we get the backstory and kind of the reasoning on why he kind of somewhat studied hard. We see a backstory of when he was younger. He took a school trip with some of his friends, and we see that there was this one like nerdy kid, and he didn't really care about all that stuff, which we already kind of knew from season 1 and stuff like that. And all he wanted to do was kind of be free and kind of do his own thing and stuff like that. Eventually he kind of gets split up from his group because he kind of just runs off on his own because he doesn't want to do the other things that his friends are trying to do and stuff like that. He eventually, runs into this other crazy, like, I guess, stuck-up pink-haired chick, and she's framing him saying, you took a picture of me and stuff like that. She calls the cops over, and she's trying to frame him like he's some sort of, like, I guess you could say pervert or some sort of stalker or some sort of, peeping Tom or whatever. And the freaking cops are like, please give us your thing so we can think. Then Futaro remembered is like, oh shit, I took a picture of my freaking friend who's a little girl, and he's like, wait, if the cops see this, they're gonna think I'm some sort of freaking weirdo, and they might actually arrest me. I don't know how old he was, but first things first, why would they arrest a freaking kid? Second, that's just my thing, but okay. But then the pink-haired girl shows up and said, no, he's innocent, I saw him, he didn't take a picture of that girl, and stuff like that. So then we find out they go to like this little booth and stuff like that, and eventually find out all sorts of things and stuff like that. So Itsuki kind of gets a little bit more understanding, a little bit more backstory to Futaro, which again, I guess you can say if they are going to hook him up Futaro with a sister, it's probably might more than likely be Itsuki, because like every type of harem show, usually if they go all the distance with a harem where they have the main male character actually hook up with somebody, it's always more than likely the first girl he meets. And Itsuki, if you go back to season 1, was the first girl Futaro met. So obviously they're building on that relationship that they do have and stuff like that. Now Itsuki brings up something interesting. She calls like this little, I don't know what it was, but she calls it this thing that she calls her lucky charm and stuff like that. And oh, my bad. Actually, what she does say, Itsuki, what she does say is she compliments on the fact that Futaro's changed, and she actually asked Futaro, like, can you help me change and stuff like that. And as Futaro's turned around, he remembers the same thing, kind of like the pink-haired girl said, and he sees the pink-haired girl in Itsuki and stuff like that. Eventually, like I said, she brings up the lucky charms, and that's when Futaro's like, wait a second. And he remembers back to the pink-haired girl buying the same type of thing Itsuki has in her hands, but specifically for 5 people. And that's when two heads kind of think about it, and they're like, oh shit. Which I'm guessing is later revealed that one of the pink-haired girl apparently is one of the sisters, and apparently one of the sisters met Futaro a long time ago and stuff like that. So yeah, eventually the other sisters come in and take her to get her shots and stuff like that because they can't finish the conversation and stuff like that. So yeah, but Itsuki does say she can't remember where she bought it or if someone bought it for her. And she also does make the mention that she thinks that they are from Kyoto from 5 years ago. And that's when it brings up the whole thing. And you get this funny scene where they're like, and they just like, we're like, wait a second. 5 years ago? That kind of matches up with Futaro's story. So yeah. And so that whole hospital plot is over with. I'm guessing a few days later, after the whole hospital thing, after Futaro's done with the hospital, he ends up going to the Nanako's residence, and he ends up, walking into a sister that apparently was getting done with their shower. They eventually throw this bag that held in the test scores, which they all got zeros on, or which all the papers have zeros on. And they failed in every category like we know the frickin' sisters always do, the quintuplets always do. So essentially, one, I found it funny enough. One, the sisters when Futaro goes over, they all have their hair in like a ponytail type of thing, and he can't tell the sisters apart, even though as the audience of us, we can easily tell the people apart. Like he's calling like Miku Nino, and you have frickin' Miku getting like pissed off and everything and stuff like that. That's like the ongoing gag of as well. The fact I just love that gag where he just doesn't know if they have their like different hairstyles, or he can't tell which one is which. Which again, as the audience, you're like, I can tell which one is which. How the hell can you not tell? It's funny because the sisters make a mention like, bro, how can you study so hard and you're so good in grades, but you can't tell us apart that easily? Which is freaking hilarious and stuff like that. So essentially, he's trying to come up with ways to find out who the heck the culprit was in getting all these dang zeros and stuff like that. So you have one mention, the fact where he's like, someone called me a pervert, because he remembers what sister called him a pervert as he's saying that. Another thing was freaking Ichika's like, oh, it wasn't all of us. We have actually a sixth sister. I don't know what you call another meaning for a sixth sister. That's like 6 sisters or whatever, but it was so funny to the point Yotsuba actually fell for that, and I'm like, bruh, Yotsuba is cute, she's adorable, and she's funny, but she is flat out dumb. And you just have a bunch of other things going on. Then that's when Futaro's like, okay, let's do a mock test. And the whole thing is the fact that whoever fails the test the worst, then that's more than likely the culprit. We find out later mid-test that the person in the freaking bath towel and stuff like that was Ichika. And she's like, he won't tell and stuff like that. Then she's like, oh wait, he can tell by my handwriting. So she erases that, and then she gives the test out first. And then Futaro's like, you're the culprit. And she's like, how did you know? And he's like, and she's like, or Futaro's like, I can tell because you write cursive in everything you do. So you're the culprit. But next thing you know, he looks at all the other girls' papers and then he sees that it's kind of the same exact thing. So he doesn't know their handwriting to differ them as well, because all of them also do in cursive stuff and things like that. And then he also finds out that they all failed. So essentially, we later find out that all the tests belong to them, because that's what, forgot which sister brought it up to Ichika, but they brought it up like, why'd you have to freaking do all that and blow our cover, which shows that all the sisters did it, or got zeros and stuff like that. So that was a little funny little thing at the end, which is their typical, what are the sisters shenanigans gonna be in terms of their little studying thing and stuff like that. So yeah. Now Itsuki, after this, comes up and brings up the fact about Futaro, like, are you doing this also, or trying your hardest to tell us apart because you think that one of us is the girl you met 5 years ago? And Futaro confirms it and stuff like that, and he brings up the fact, he's like, so have you guys met me a long time ago? And essentially all the girls are like, what the hell are you talking about and stuff like that. So I'm guessing the mystery of this season along to go with the mystery of which sister is gonna apparently, I guess, marry frickin' Futaro, because we know he eventually gets married on, it's already confirmed that he gets married in the future. We just don't know which sister he's getting married to, or what I've seen so many people say that he might be getting hooked up to some other frickin' lady that we haven't seen yet. But again, we don't know. Well, that's probably, again, the mystery of this season is probably big. Who's that pink-haired mysterious girl from Futaro's past? Which sister met him in the past? But I enjoyed this episode. It was a good episode today. It reminded me of the shenanigans from the first season, and it's like, I cannot wait to see more of these antics. And that's kind of what this freaking show's about. Like, yes, they'll dive into really deep topics for each of the sisters, but I do like the fact that, you know, the main thing is just Futaro trying his damnedest to get the sisters to actually be good students and actually get A's and stuff like that. And obviously, there's definitely going to be a payoff. I don't know how far the manga is in terms of this, but I enjoy this series and I have a lot of fun. So yeah, that's kind of it, and I can't wait. It seems like next week too, we're going to get like a 2-part, I guess, episode thing, because it's titled, I forgot something, part 1. But anyways, I enjoyed tonight's episode. So yeah, every Thursday you'll be getting Quintessential Quintuplet reviews. So other than that, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's Quintessential Quintuplets review. Who's your favorite sister? And who do you think Futaro will end up with? Again, do not post spoilers to future events going on, because I'm an anime only and I don't know anything that takes place in the manga. As well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Quintessential Quintuplet anime reviews or any other anime reviews in general. Again, like I said, Wednesdays I do my ReZero, Friday, Dragon Quest, and I also think Dr. Stone, which is coming out next week. I'm also going to be reviewing WandaVision 2, guys, the MCU TV show that's coming out next week. So a lot of things are coming out this winter anime season that I cannot wait for. So yeah, other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. So other than that, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, evening, or day, or whenever you turn on this video. And hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, especially for the people out there in DC, especially with what has been happening, or what happened yesterday in our freaking country of the United States of America. Please be safe out there. It's getting crazier as the days go by, leading up to obviously the inauguration. But please definitely be safe out there. From my stance, I'll just say this: I do not condone the actions of what those people did on the Capitol building. I thought that was reckless. I thought that was stupid. I thought they were all idiots, and I think those people definitely should be charged for their actions, because that was not right. And it's only because one man who's about to be out of office incited all of this violence. Let's try to be better human beings. Let's try to be better Americans, guys. We were a laughing stock to the world. That was embarrassing, and I was sick to my stomach seeing that. So that's why I'm gonna end off my video. I know I didn't want to end it on a somber note like that, but that's what I just gotta say. I'll probably say it in the next couple of videos just to make and get the awareness out there that, listen, we all need to be better. We all need to be better. So that's it. Anyways, guys, hope you guys liked the video. So till then, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.